Welcome to Travel is Fun Tours. We'll be starting in about 15 minutes at 1:30. Stay tuned.
Yeah. But yeah, I moved in the transfer new reporting. So they got all of them. I never got it.
No, they won't go.
I know.
No, okay.
And it makes me wonder, maybe to me.
No, I told the whole story of this guy, Orange.
But as far as getting things, but when I came off, I don't know.
That's Georgia.
And I have other people but has everything been reported? I don't know. And I have no way of knowing. You know, like I changed my address, my credit card, things like that. So I anything else that I and then I'll change it. So expensive, yes. I feel that way about
Got your ice cream.
That makes that day better.
Yeah,
Just get this bowl.
yeah, I've got to do windows in my house too. I'm not looking for this every day.
Yeah, I stole all these from Linger Lodge. Takes real good care.
Something I've never learned to So what did you didn't like any of the Key West?
I didn't have a chance to look. I hit Barbara's and I just cleaned her out. I'll use those next time. In the diner.
Oh, yeah, she, Ed, and Smoky before y'all. It's a small world.
No, just the day she said it, we didn't go there. How was the moment? But see, this back here.
I didn't know about it until last night when we walked the dog.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
About coming to this? Yes, I do at 4:00. I gotta get my son. Right. Which is why I drove.
Side of the house.
So anyway, I got the phone call sitting down in front of my house and I worked on it.
See, that's why I like living in your house.
Try to be precise. 1:30. Tell awful jokes. Okay. I haven't been accused of being boring. A lot of other things. We'll see. That's how fast I talk. And if the cruise guy comes in, usually I'm running under an hour. But I've had a different cruise, I can adjust it down to 15 minutes. I gotta cut out a bunch. I don't think he's coming. He was recovering from COVID yet again. So he was grounded for 10 days. Either that or I think he just likes hiding in his house.
It's got to keep money out. Take my payments every month. You better not say check it because I was make a window account. Then when I get that, I'll be moving back.
Then just gonna go in like.
And so it says pick your seeds. No, you pick a seed. I'll pick the seed. Say a word.
Isn't that a weird chair?
Yeah.
It looks like it would tilt you.
It's like it's been boiled.
Or from the outside house.
I do know. I don't know.
My old before the weather.
So Rash is March. I think Green is Mary Ellen.
For babies.
Barbara,
My dog that I had before this one had like 200
Joe,
3.5 years.
Pink is
It just
Joe.
depends on where, right? Well, and how far we are.
Yeah.
What color are you? Initially, it's
I can't speak.
Pink woman is what moment again? I didn't say Marshall. It sounds wonderful. It sounds wonderful.
I have. Oh, yeah, I have one friend that when mine goes, this is my last. Yeah, this one's my last two. I told my friends, I'm like, I'm telling you right now, I'm not gonna get a big one. I'm telling you now. Yeah, I'm sorry, Ed.
But I made sure when I went down and they called the Koala and
And she's still.
all that stuff and then I let him so like I opened Koala and then we lost that you don't have one. So I don't
The rest of these.
Because it's kind of confusing.
Well, I don't so much worry about that.
Did you figure out your mom's trips? I would have gone by myself, but there's still like, I'm right. You know, that last day with the front tree. Every time we go to Georgia, we go someplace, we went to Chattanooga, there's a full folder. There's the one in Georgia, there's one in Dalhousie, Georgia, and then there's another one. There's like 3 of them. And no matter what,
How much do I owe you for the water? Okay, well, I'll just give you some money. Okay, when you come back.
The end of this month, you're going to a shindig? Is that it?
Right there, they got the seed. It'd be easier than going on myself, by myself.
One of them was my
Oh,
mom.
it's down.
And I'm gonna go to. Just.
That's that fishing camp.
Like we went to.
Oh, it's at the bottom of that. Yeah, but they've redone
I picked it up.
July 21st.
The keys weren't working.
Yeah.
Yeah. $106. We were just gonna make an announcement.
All right, there you go. 40 seconds.
Oh, jeez, come on, come on.
Did you pick any that you like?
I'm a precision presenter. What did I just do?
Right, Todd?
Absolutely.
There we go, it was on for a second. It flashed on.
Exactly.
It's gonna be ready to watch.
Is it on yet, Todd?
Flashed on for like 3 seconds.
I'm gonna do both of them.
Yeah, next week.
Cherokee, sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But I mean,
Is it on yet?
Daddy, did you break it? There you go.
Well, it looks like crap, but it'll do. Welcome, folks at home. Welcome, you guys. Sorry for the delay. We had technical difficulties for a second, but now we got it running. So welcome to Travel is Fun Tours. This is our travel club for May 2022. Let me get the right remote in my hand. And so Travel is Fun Tours. If you don't know us, by the way, we have folks at home watching. Everybody say hi.
Hi.
guys are so friendly. We are a family-owned small business. Currently, we are around the corner by the barber shop. Depending on what the wrecking ball does, we might be moving sometime in the next year. We'll keep you posted. But we are a family-owned small business. My dad and my sister are working around the corner, and you've got me here. Lucky you. I'm Todd, by the way. We are responsive to your needs. This is our family's entire business. So we want you to not just be happy with your tour. We want you to be ecstatic. We want you to go home and annoy your friends and neighbors, telling them how much fun you had, so that they come and try it too. We are fully licensed and insured, and we manage our funds very carefully. If you notice, through COVID, there's a lot of companies that went out of business. If they didn't have their funds handled correctly, some of them were out of business the first 2 weeks when COVID hit, because they just couldn't weather it. We're still here, and we're going to keep being here as long as I need an income, which is probably forever, if you've met my wife. Over 40 years of experience. We've actually been here at Tyrone Gardens over 30 years now. We were just looking over the lease. Before that, we were about 15 years or so downtown St. Pete, too. So we have been around a long time. We've got a good track record. We use up-to-date modern motor coaches. We go out with Mart's First Class, and they are very nice coaches, restroom equipped. They do have Wi-Fi. Now, I will tell you, the Wi-Fi is not going to be screaming Wi-Fi. If everybody on the bus is trying to use it at the same time, that's just a limitation of the technology. Same thing on airplanes. Maybe Elon Musk will fix that with the Starlink. We'll see. Okay, there comes the bus. And just so you know what we do, if you don't have one of these white sheets, I'm going to steal your sheet a second. If you don't have one of those, you want to make sure you get it before you go. That lists all of the tours we do. It's also available on our website. It gets updated on the website a few times a month. You can also get all of the overnight trips off the website. You can get departure times. There's a lot of good stuff on there. But we go all kinds of different places for our day trips. That's where we're gone just one day, not staying overnight anywhere. So we do dinner theaters, we do casinos, and shopping districts, and all kinds of good stuff. Try and get you out of the house, running around, having a good time. We do overnight trips. We go all over the place there, too. We go about the closest we do for an overnight would be Orlando. We've done a few times. About the farthest we've gone is Alaska in the past. Yes, sir. Yeah. Oh, okay. You looked like you were trying to get my attention. Upcoming trips, well, we're going to tell you about all the upcoming trips we've got scheduled, and we're going to give you some hints on what we're thinking about doing, too. We do have a travel club, and that is $14 for new members. It's $10 for renewals. It is not required. Anybody is welcome to go on our bus, and we'd love to have them. The advantages you get by joining the travel club is you get all of this stuff mailed to you at the end of the month. You get a name tag, and you get $2 off the trips you take. Now, that was probably a better deal 10 years ago, before email and the websites and all of that stuff was really common with our folks. So our numbers on the mailing aren't what they used to be. We send out about 400 or 500 pieces of mail a month. In the olden days, I used to send out about 1,500 pieces of mail. And I figure eventually it'll just switch all to email and looking at the website. But some folks still like getting something in the mailbox, so we'll keep doing this as long as it's feasible. Bottom line, with Travel is Fun Tours, we're going to always be friendly. We want you to come back. We're going to be always courteous, even if it's a rough day. And we're very informative. My dad knows everything about everything. Just ask him. And he'll share that with you on the bus. He loves telling you all about all the crazy places he's been and all the history of the places you're going to. We try to keep you very comfortable on the bus. I will warn you, there's one thermostat on that bus. So about half of you will be too warm. About half of you will be too cold. About 3 of you will think it's just perfect. So that's kind of how that works. Most of all, you're going to have lots of fun, though, because we take the headaches out. We do all the arranging. We deal with all of the hiccups on the road. A lot of times you aren't even going to know most of the stuff we're dealing with behind the scenes. And that's the way it should be. We just want you to pack your bag, jump on the bus, and have a good time. We're speaking of having a good time. We're going to do our contest. I'm going to steal this from you now. Hopefully, everybody have one of these little yellow slips. If you do not, wave your hand frantically in the air, and Ollie will bring you one. And that is what you need to win the Where in the World contest, other than an exhaustive knowledge of geography and architecture and everything else. We're going to flash up a picture of a place Travel has gone before. If you win the contest, you get $25 off your next trip. And don't yell out the answer unless you're trying to throw everybody else off deliberately. And that would be a little bit mean, but understandable. Best answer wins the prize. So if two of you have the same answer,
How are you?
but one of you has a better answer, more detailed, more history of the place, then you will win. So just because you have the right answer doesn't mean you're going to win, because somebody might have a more right answer.
I can vouch for that.
Yes, poor Buffy has been the victim of that rule a couple times. No phone a friend. Don't use your smartphone. Make it fair for everybody. And one win per calendar year. So some of you are out already. I think, Marina, have you won this year?
Yes, in January.
Yeah, I think Barbara got one. Mary got one. I can't remember who else. Somebody else. So, and if nobody gets the right answer, we just do a drawing. We're giving away the $25. So you guys ready for your clue? Here it comes. Oh, where could that be? I did stump my sister. My sister's usually really good at these. So if I stump her, I know I made it hard enough. We'll see if anybody gets the right answer. You guys ready to move on?
Answer where it says guest.
Yes, that is where your guess goes. Unless you know where it is, then it's not a guess, right? So May, the rest of May, we're going to cover the trips coming up for the rest of May. Tomorrow, we're going to go see Camelot. That's going to be at the Suncoast Broadway Theater. We could fit some more folks on the bus, and they've got a few more seats. So come see one of the best musicals of all time, in my opinion. And if you want to have a long, detailed conversation about the history of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table and the book The Once and Future King and the musical, come sit by my desk. I'll entertain you all afternoon talking about Camelot. I love that one.
I forgot what yellow and colors.
Green means the trip is going to go.
Yellow's on the.
Yellow means it's kind of on the bubble. It may go, it may not. Red means it ain't going. So the good thing is you don't see any red up there. There's only a couple of yellows, and they've got a week or two to go. So they may turn green yet. May 14th, this Saturday, Wendy's taking the bus to Mount Dora, and she's going to also go over to Renninger's Antiques. So you can either spend the day in Mount Dora or Renninger's. She's also going to do a little shuttle run between the places in the middle of the day. So if you want to see both, you can do both. Lunch will be on your own, but there's plenty of places to eat out there. We do have enough people to run, but we'd love to have a few more go. There's only about 33, 34 people on the bus right now, so plenty of room to kick around. Sunday, May 15th, we've got St. John's River Ship, and that is over out of Sanford. It's about a 4-hour cruise on the St. John's River on a great big paddle boat with a really good meal and entertainment and wildlife to see. There's about half a dozen seats left open for Sunday. I will tell you, the May trips were priced before we got hit with the surcharge for fuel. So this trip is underpriced based on what my actual costs are. So if you would like a bargain trip, I'd jump on this one. Next time I do it, it probably will be $10, $20 higher. May 19th, we're going to go to Lunch Bunch at Fred's in Plant City. Again, I've got a few seats left there. It is my birthday month, so you can see me wear a silly hat, and you guys can sing to me this time. We sing happy birthday and celebrate birthdays and entries on the bus. We're going to probably do a little stop at Parksdale Farms, which is right over there, so you can pick you up some strawberries and other goodies. Yay. Oops. Wiki Wachi's coming up May 21st. You notice that's got the yellow light next to it. I'm kind of right on the bubble on that one. We have exactly enough people to go if everybody who's on the list pays up.
You got 2 more today.
We got 2 more today, so I guess we can color that green. That looks like it's going to be a go if I got 2 more going. So we're in good shape. Wiki Wachi will go. It does not include your entry ticket. And the reason we did it that way is, number one, Wiki Wachi is not easy to buy group tickets from. They don't give you a group discount, so we're not saving you any money that way. Also, sometimes they do have Groupons or on our AARP and stuff, so you might be able to get the ticket cheaper at the gate than we could have gotten it for you. It is lunch on your own, and you can go see mermaids and wildlife and take a boat ride and go around a beautiful, one of the oldest parks in the state, Wiki Wachi. Myrtle Beach is leaving Sunday the 22nd. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Wiki Wachi, I just want to pass on that the pathways are uneven. Last time I went, we had several people trip and fall on the pathway.
Yeah, you do have to watch your step. Again, this is the oldest park in the state. Goes way back before ADA and all those things. So yeah, it does have some uneven areas. So do be careful. If you're somebody who needs a cane, it'd be a good idea to bring it. And watch where you're stepping. Myrtle Beach is coming up. I think that's a 6-day tour. A lot of great shows. Key thing there, the hotel is right on the beach, and every hotel room has an ocean view. That's a great one to go on. Cirque Du Soleil, we have 2 different opportunities with Cirque Du Soleil. The bus is going to take you out to Disney Springs if you want to see the Cirque Du Soleil show. That is the higher price. If you just want to go explore Disney Springs for the afternoon and early evening, you can do that as well and not have a Cirque Du Soleil ticket. But either way, we would love to have you join us there. And then finally, Shenyang, May 29th. That is, the headline of the show is called China Before Communism. And it's a fantastic show full of dance, music, and acrobatics, beautiful costumes, lots of color. And it comes around once a year. That will be done at the Mahaffey. I'm still about 3 or 4 seats shy of being able to run that trip. So if some of you guys would like to go see that with us, go ahead and get signed up so we can lock it in. Jumping into June 1st, we're going to go see Happy Together. That's at Ruth Eckerd Hall in Clearwater. And they do have food for purchase there. We're going to get there a little bit early. They got a car show and an art show in the parking lot. And they'll have some food trucks. If you want to snack before the show, you can do that. But Happy Together is going to be all about the 60s and 70s music. So it's got hits starring the Turtles, who have the song Happy Together that the show is named after. Chuck Negron of 3 Dog Night. He's going to do Joy to the World and Mama Told Me Not to Come. The Association is going to be there doing Cherish and Windy. The Vogues, The Rain, The Park, and other things. The Cowsills, who did the theme song to the show Love American Style. You guys remember that one? I watched that. I probably was too young to watch it when I watched it. Anyway, that'll be a real nice show. Great theater over there. If you don't know this about Ruth Eckerd Hall, anybody familiar with Frank Lloyd Wright, the architect? It's actually Ruth Eckerd Hall and Van Wezel Auditorium were both designed by his architecture company after he passed away. So if you ever go to Van Wezel and Ruth Eckerd and they look similar, that's why. They used basically the same design for both theaters. We've got a San Antonio trip coming up. Now, we don't have enough people to run it unless a bunch of you guys sign up by the end of this week. And it'll probably end up getting canceled, which makes me sad because it's a great trip. One of the things we do is we go to Houston and visit the Johnson Space Center. This is one of the neighborhoods in Houston where the astronauts used to live. So there's a public pool there. Notice it's in the shape of a Mercury capsule. One of the things we also do is I've got the addresses where Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong lived in the 1960s when they went to the moon. So we get to go see the houses they actually lived in while they were going to the moon. We're also going to spend a few days in San Antonio at the Drury Inn on the Riverwalk. There's a nice shot of the Riverwalk. It's a beautiful place to hang out. A lot of shops and restaurants around there, and it's there's tall buildings around you. It's shaded most of the day. It's a little cooler down in there, and the river water going by keeps it a little cooler too. Anyway, 14 meals included on that one. We're going to visit Mobile and Lafayette and New Orleans, an afternoon in New Orleans. Cajun country, like I mentioned, we're going to go to the Johnson Space Center, and we're going to go to the Mexican market in San Antonio and see a bunch of other sites too. So if you're interested in that one, get your name on the list. We probably won't charge you anything until we know we have enough people to run it. June 4th, we've got the Broadway Palm Dinner Theater down in Fort Myers for the show Rock of Ages. And this was actually a movie not that long ago. Tom Cruise played a rock star in it, which was kind of interesting. That was not the normal character you expect Tom Cruise to play. But it's a 5-time Tony Award nominated smash musical. It tells the rags to riches story of a small town girl, a city boy, and a rock and roll romance on the Sunset Strip. It features a soundtrack including great 80s anthems like I Want to Know What Love Is, Every Rose Has Its Thorn, Here I Go Again, Don't Stop Believing, and a whole lot. Great theater down there, very nice seating. The food is fantastic. They have a cash bar. The dessert table is bueno. You will love the dessert table. It's fantastic. June 12th, we're going down to St. Armand's Circle for their, I'm trying to remember, should it say 22nd? 20th.
Well,
There it is. I got to turn to the right page. 20th annual Arts and Crafts Show. So they'll have arts and crafts on the sidewalks. They've got lots of great shops and restaurants. If you're into history, a really interesting thing to do there is cross the street into the circle in the center. Let me see right here. And around that circle, they've got little monuments to circus families with a little bit of history. So if you walk all the way around that circle, you can learn a lot about circus families. A lot of great restaurants to eat there. There's a Columbia. There's a Tommy Bahamas. There's a Hillwinds ice cream. Can't tell I'm a fan of ice cream. June 14th, if you're not that great of a cook, or even if you are a pretty good cook, Publix does a really fantastic cooking school. So they're going to do a wine pairing with the lunch and teach you how to make some really good meals. And then after they do the cooking, you get to eat that meal. And it's really worthwhile. I've had some folks go on these and really come home learning a lot.
Where's it at?
It's going to be over in Tampa.
Tampa.
Yeah, they've got a Tampa campus. It's actually co-located with a Publix restaurant or Publix grocery store, but then they've got the cooking demonstration is next door to it. Okay, we almost done back there?
Yeah.
Sorry. June 16th, we're going to do lunch bunch. That's going to be at the Floridan Hotel. And this one is selling really quick. I'm down to maybe 10 seats left. So if you would like to join us for the Floridan Hotel, we did it way back before COVID. And that's before it had a nice refurbishment. So during COVID, they kind of shut the part of the hotel down, redecorated, made it really pretty. We're going to have a fantastic lunch. They're going to have a presenter come in and give us a little bit of the history of the hotel. And it's actually I think it's the oldest hotel in Tampa. It has a good long history, and the food is fantastic. We got a little 2-day trip to Brighton Casino, and that is going to be based out of Lake Placid, Florida. Beautiful little town. There's a nice Holiday Inn Express we're going to spend the night in. It overlooks a little lake and some nice scenery right there. They have a beautiful collection of murals in Lake Placid, not nearly as many as St. Pete has, but they have more of a coherent theme there because they have a mural committee that actually approves the murals. So they'll have to kind of have a Florida history theme going on there. We're going to have an opportunity to go to dinner at a Golden Corral there in Lake Placid. We're going to have 2 visits to the Brighton Casino, Saturday and Sunday. We'll make sure that we are there during bingo time. So you'll get to play some bingo if you're into the bingo. We're also going to do a tour of the murals, and we're getting the co-op open for us on Sunday morning. So if you want to buy some arts and crafts items, then the co-op will be a visit for about an hour. And we're going to drive through the caladium fields. Who knows about caladiums? Number one, they don't actually bloom because it's just the leaves. It's not a flower, but they're very, very colorful leaves on them. It's a very decorative plant. And if I remember my figures right, I think 95% of the caladiums in the whole world come from Lake Placid, Florida. So this is the time of year the fields will be full of them. They're getting ready to harvest them by July and August. So it should be very colorful when we do our drive-through. June 18th, we're also going to do the Empress Tea Room. One of our favorite tea rooms. It's really, really good. And it is in and very charming. One thing I check when I talk to tea rooms, I do ask them if everybody's going to leave hungry or not, because tea rooms can be famous for being a little skimpy on how much food they give you. And she promised me you guys wouldn't go away hungry, so that's a good thing. June 21st, we're going to do medieval times. We haven't done this in years. We only do it every few years because it doesn't get that much demand most of the time. So if you're interested in medieval times, please jump on board. It will be an evening performance. The reasoning behind that is last time I tried it, we did it as a day trip, as a matinee, and the place was full of school kids. And when it's full of school kids, you can't get beer or wine. So at the evening performances, you can order a beer or a wine. It is on your own ticket, but it'll include a very nice dinner. It's an amazing show. It's one of the only shows we can do anymore that has horsemanship in it. So you go back to medieval times, as the title suggests. You're going to be in a color-coded section of the arena, and you're going to have a knight fighting for your section. So if you're in the green area, the green knight fights for you. And by the end of the night, one of the knights will win the joust. There's sword fighting, there's jousting, there's falconry, there's music and singing, and it's an amazing show and really good food. Some folks are put off. How many of you guys think they won't let you have silverware? You have to eat with your hands like a savage, like I always do. They will, if you ask this waitress nicely, they will bring you silverware so you can be dainty. Even though it's not period accurate. June 30th, we're going to do Marina Jack's. That's down in Sarasota Bay. It's beautiful blue water down there, even though it's golden there at sunset. But beautiful blue water during the day. A lot of times we get to see some dolphins. The architecture around Sarasota Bay is almost all like a Mediterranean architecture. The food is fantastic. They'll have entertainment on the boat. It's enclosed and air conditioned, as you can see. So it's a really nice way to spend lunchtime. And this one is filling up too. It's over half full already. So I suspect by the time June 30th gets here, that'll be a sold out trip with a waiting list. With that, we're going to try and tickle your funny bone a little bit. Between the months, this one's called Whoops, and it's just a bunch of goofy pictures I found. So Barbara can relate to this one. This is a nature photographer missing the shot of his life. And that longhorn sheep, I think, is laughing. What's that? Yeah, it's when I had to switch. I couldn't. I was fighting it. You guys wanted to wait much longer. Okay, this is a poorly designed staircase. If you can see, if you're coming up this side, where are you going to go?
Underneath, and get back down.
So somebody probably did not get a bonus working on that job. And this is an ad for a phone case, and it says floats on water. Notice where the phone is. And there's my sister's birthday party when we were little. But I'm bigger than her, so that's not true.
Is that you with the crinklies?
Doesn't he look mean?
Yeah. You blow under the candle.
I would. Okay, we're going to jump into July. So we're going to kick July off with a trip to Cherokee. And we have some folks signed up on it. It looks like it's going to go, but we'd love to have some more. And this is a great trip. It's basically a similar itinerary to one we did a few years ago. And I put Barbara in a whitewater raft and brought her back alive and everything. So that was pretty good. It's going to be 6 days, 8 meals included, with 2 nights at Drury Inns. If you haven't been to a Drury Inn, they got great breakfast. They do a 5:30 kickback with 3 cocktails for you, and dinner at the restaurant at the hotel. So that's pretty nice. There's a 4.5-hour steam train ride along the Nantahala River. Although you can opt to get in a rubber raft with Wendy and bounce along the Nantahala River through the rapids like Barbara did. If you have questions on that, ask Barbara, because she can tell you about the experience. It wasn't that bad, was it, Barbara? I will tell you, little bouncy spots. I will tell you the water is cold. If you're going to rent anything, rent the scuba diving booties to keep your tootsies warm. That's a good investment. We're going to visit the Cherokee Koala Arts Co-op. On the 4th of July, we're going to go see the show Unto These Hills, which is the history of the Cherokee people. And it's a show going back to the 1950s. They really haven't changed it much at all since the show was first done in the 1950s. The show should get over right about 10 p.m. And guess what is happening on 4th of July around 10 p.m. in Cherokee? Fireworks. So as we're getting to the bus and as we're driving back to the hotel, we should see fireworks all around us. And the nice thing about seeing fireworks from the bus is the bus will not be full of insects. Or if you're sitting out on a field somewhere watching the fireworks, the bugs will be watching them too. We're going to visit the Oconaluftee Indian Museum. That's an optional ticket you can get. We'll have a run over to the Harrah's Casino one of the days if you want to go there. The Cherokee Bear Zoo is something you can visit. And if everybody wants to, we'll probably go to Clingman's Dome. And if you haven't been to Clingman's Dome, it's the highest point on the Appalachian Trail in the state of, I think that's in Tennessee, about 6,500 feet above sea level. You will be a little bit out of breath if you try to hike up to the observation dome, which is, oh, I didn't put a picture of it there, but there's an observation tower at the top. And actually, just so you know, it's the day after we get home from this trip, I'm going out with my scout troop right back to Cherokee, and I will be hiking 50 miles in the Smoky Mountain National Forest to the top of Clingman's Dome with a bunch of scouts. So I get to do that twice. If you don't go with me to Cherokee, we have another option for you. We have a fireworks trip out on the Calypso Queen, and that's a very nice little tour boat. Goes out of Clearwater. It's going to include a nice 4-course dinner, beer, wine, and sangria, and they're going to cruise along the waterways up there looking for good fireworks demonstrations for you, which is really cool because if they see better fireworks this way, it's a boat. They can head that way and go see them. So that'll be a really nice trip. That is selling pretty quickly, too. I'm almost half sold out on that. So that'll probably end up on a wait list as well. July 11th, for a little day trip, we're going to go over to Tampa, do a little driving around, and take you to the Tampa History Center. Lunch will be on your own there. They have a Columbia restaurant as part of the museum, so you can get lunch at the Columbia and enjoy all the exhibits they've got. One of their permanent exhibits is about buccaneers and treasure hunters that raided the Tampa Bay area over the years. July 14th, we've got Capone's dinner show over in Kissimmee. This is a matinee, and it includes a very nice Italian-American buffet, beer, wine, and sangria, all you want. They're very generous with it. I had one fella, he had like 2 beers, and he put his hand over the cup, and he went to the bathroom, and he came back, and he had a 3rd beer, even though he wasn't ready for it. They got a nice dessert for you and a fantastic floor show. They take you back to the 1930s to a speakeasy. So you go in the back door of an ice cream shop. It's a pretend ice cream shop. It's not really an ice cream shop. And you're going to go back into Mama June's show and have a great time with gangsters and detectives and flappers, with Bunny June and her husband Finger Salvatore and Bunny June's sisters who are coming to live with them. It's a funny show. It's entertaining. and great singing and dancing. July 15th, we're going to do the Penny Lane Beatles Museum. That'll be lunch on your own. It's in a building up in Dunedin, and it's a fantastic collection of every bit of Beatles memorabilia you could imagine. And he's actually got some original Beatles pieces, costume pieces, sheet music, stuff like that you can check out. And there's some shopping in the district also, and some nice restaurants right there. So we're going to visit Dunedin and check that out. July 20th, we have the fabulous musical Wizard of Oz. That's again down at the Broadway Palm Dinner Theater in Fort Myers. You can see that's in the main theater with the fantastic seating. There's the desserts, there's the serving table, and you'll get to see a great stage production of the Wizard of Oz. One of the things I would point out that they're really good at there is they have fantastic costumes. The last time they did Wizard of Oz was quite a while ago, but their Cowardly Lion costume looked amazing. Looked just like Burt Lahr from the original film. It was really impressive to see. I felt bad for the poor guy who had to be wearing it because it must have weighed 30 pounds easy and been hot as the dickens. July 21st, our lunch bunch. We're finally going to get to go back to the Linger Lodge. They are back. They're open for business. They've been closed all during COVID. They did a big renovation. This is down around the Ellington area, and it's attached to a trailer park, which is kind of a holiday park for folk snowbirds mostly. It's right on the river, so nice and scenic. If you want to sit out on the patio for your lunch, they'll be more than happy to let you sit out on the patio. Their decoration is kind of unusual. They got a ton of taxidermy. I'll be interested to see how much of that survived the renovation. But they had a pretty good collection of things like jackalopes and duck-billed chickens and very strange things on the walls. The food there is fantastic. It's been my top-rated restaurant for lunch bunch until Barbara Laffin's son's Italian restaurant knocked it off the top spot. So, and that was a really good place to go. July 23rd, we're going to have a little two-day trip over to the Space Coast. We're going to be staying at the Best Western Space Shuttle Inn. That'll include a nice breakfast. They got a very nice breakfast room there. We're going to get a luau the first night. So the first day, we're going to head over to the Space Coast. We're going to visit the Sands Space History Center, which is a little museum outside the Air Force Base there that most of you guys have probably never seen. One of the really cool things there, the guy who's the main docent there, I'm going to try and make sure he's working the day we go. He had been an engineer with NASA going all the way back to the Mercury program. So he knew most of the astronauts. He knows a lot of really bizarre and interesting stories about the space program that you can't tell publicly, but he'll tell you behind the scenes. And then we're going to have a full day on day 2 at the Kennedy Space Center. And we'll get there right about opening time and stay right up until closing. So we'll give you a good full day there. Oh, we're going to have a lunch stop at a nice restaurant called Fish Lips. That'll be on your own, so you can order off the menu. But great little restaurant at the Port Canaveral, so you can watch the ships coming and going. July 26th, we're going to go down into the Showman's Museum, and that's down across the Skyway, down south a little bit. And we're also going to have lunch on your own at Jerry's Bar and Grill. Now, that used to operate under a different name, and coming up in about a week and a half, if you watch the show Bar Rescue, they're going to be featured on Bar Rescue. So you can check them out there, see how they did, and then we're going to go try them out on this day. July 28th, we've got Orange County Choppers, and they're going to host us for a nice lunch on your own there, so you can order off the menu once again. And they've got basically it's a motorcycle museum, Harleys. They've got one of the world's largest Harley dealerships there. They've got giant flags out front. And some of the employees there are going to come and give you the story of Orange County Choppers. They've got a TV show, too, based on Orange County Choppers, talking about the family that runs the place. And just enjoy a nice afternoon at a new restaurant in the area. And finally, July 30th, here comes Wendy. She's going to do
Oh,
her.
you got her out of that yellow dress.
I know.
I don't
With
think
yellow.
Well, I couldn't get rid of all the yellow. I tried. Anyway, Wendy's going to take you on her Florida architecture tour. She's very excited. One of the ladies, where are you? Was that you who gave her the book? Somebody gave her a nice book. They popped in today. But somebody had a really good Tampa Bay architecture book, so she's doing some more research. She's going to give you some architectural history. We're going to go to a Portillo's for lunch, which is one of the new restaurants in the area. Lori and Dad really liked it. And that should be a very entertaining day. If you've ever met Wendy, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, some more whoops for you. So somebody in the canning factory wasn't awake. I guess it's right side up when you tip it and drink out of it. And there's a carpenter who's not on your list to hire. That's not going to work too great. Terry, did you do that? And somebody in the factory grabbed the wrong pattern for that. It's a banner for a baby announcement, but generally we don't have pink banners when it says it's a boy. And this guy's having a bad day.
Oh.
I suspect this is a setup. I'll give it to you one more time. Because I just like watching this guy suffer. Okay, now what you've been waiting for, all the new trips. August, we're going to kick August off with a tour of the Tampa Theater. We haven't done the Tampa Theater in forever. Number one, it's air conditioned. It's indoors. It's August. That should get you right there. It was funny. I mentioned to the young lady I was booking this with about the air conditioning, and that's important in August to us. She goes, air conditioned since 1927. So that makes them really popular. They're going to take you behind the scenes. You'll see the dressing rooms there. They're going to take you upstairs. You'll see the projection room, the balconies, and it's a beautiful theater. How many of you guys have never been in the Tampa Theater?
Never.
It is gorgeous inside. I've seen a few movies there. They did a re-release of Raiders of the Lost Ark back around 2000, and I took my kids to see it there on the big screen, which was really exciting. It was a lot of fun. So it's a beautiful theater, and then we're going to take you around the corner to Sam and Eddie's New York Pizza, and their hook is their pizza is made with water imported from New York. I'm not sure why that's a big deal, but Lori swears that's really important. And that'll be lunch on your own at Sam and Eddie's. Saturday, August 6th, we're going to go down to Fisherman's Village for their Tiki festival. And it's a beautiful place to visit. If you see this picture, it's open air, but it's covered and enclosed. So you'll be in the shade, or you can be in the stores and restaurants. They've got good restaurants. They'll have live entertainment. They'll have Tiki featured stuff. There'll be things on sale. So it's a nice place to go visit. We're going to make sure you're there long enough to ride the boat if you want to go on the boat ride.
Where is that at?
That is down in Punta Gorda.
What's going on?
Punta Gorda. It's about an hour and a half or so south of here. It's not too bad a ride. It's a fun place to visit, and the main seafood restaurant, I forget the name of it, Captain Bill's or something like that. Harry's? Is it Harry's? Harpoon Harry's. There we go. It's right in the middle courtyard, right next to the entertainment. If you eat outside, you can catch the whole show. August 7th, Wendy's going to do some more shopping with you. Wait a minute, here comes Wendy again, in case you missed her. She's back in that yellow dress. We're going to go shopping in Orlando. She's going to take you to the mall at Millennia and the Orlando outlets on International Drive. That'll be lunch on your own. So she's going to make sure you get a lot of opportunities to do some good shopping, pick up some goodies. August 11th, for those of you who like a nice tea, we're going to do the Lavender and Lace Tea Room. And that one's over in Tampa. And it's a very highly rated tea room. Would you believe there are actually tea room rating websites? So this one was coming in the top 2 or 3 in the state of Florida. So it's a really, really good tea room. August 13th, we're going to go see Michael Bublé. And that's going to be at Amalie Arena in Tampa. And yep, before you catch your breath, it is kind of an expensive ticket. We did our best to get you the best price we could, but it is, all of these concerts have gone way, way up. He's an amazing performer, a lot of great songs, and I imagine most of his shows sell out. So if you want to go with us, we'll take care of the driving, and you don't have to worry about parking and all that stuff. And it should be a fantastic show. Sunday, August 14th, we're going to leave for Cool Helen and Dahlonega, Georgia. And that's got 9 meals included, 2 nights at the Helen Holiday Inn. Never been to Helen. Helen is this beautiful little Bavarian looking town. Looks like that. Up in the mountains of Georgia. You're going to have 2 Drury nights on the way there and back. We're going to have a great family-style meal outside Dahlonega at the Smith House. I've eaten there a few times. It's really, really good. You got low mountain temperatures because you're up around 1,500 feet above sea level. So the temperature won't be as hot as it is down in Florida. It's not going to be, there won't be any snow on the ground, but you won't be in the hot Florida temps. We're going to visit the Gold Rush Museum in Dahlonega. You'll have some free time in downtown Dahlonega, and it's really an awesome place to visit. I've gone to Dahlonega a bunch of times with my kids because the Appalachian Trail starts right around there, and it's a great place to visit if you're going hiking. August 18th, we're going to do Lunch Bunch. Yes, ma'am, Miss Mary.
You can't do lunch bunch if you're going to go see the lawn stuff.
That is true, and as I did before, if you're in Dahlonega,
All right.
I will give you credit for August's Lunch Bunch.
Thank you.
As long as you're in Dahlonega, and I have pictures of proof. And you don't just tell me you're in Dahlonega. You'll be sad, though, because you're going to miss lunch on Limoges. We're going to go to Dade City.
That's the thing.
And
Why do you do this?
Change lunch bunch.
change lunch bunch, because you're trying to kill me here. We'll discuss it. Anyway, typical lunch bunch. We're going to sing happy birthday to all those August babies and have a lot of fun. August 20th, we're going to do a great meal at the beautiful Mission Inn. That's at Howey in the Hills, Florida. How many of you guys didn't even know there was a Howey in the Hills, Florida? What a weird name for a city. We're going to have a great lunch catered by them, a little tour of the grounds, and then we'll be off to Lake Ridge Winery for a winery tour, and they'll have live entertainment on the grounds, tastings, and they'll have some food trucks in case you're still hungry from your lunch at Mission Inn. Then August 27th on a Saturday and Sunday, we're going to do an Immokalee weekend. So we're going to go down to a beautiful new Holiday Inn Express in Fort Myers. You're going to get 2 5-hour visits to the Seminole Casino. They've got a lot of great restaurants at the casino. Should all be open on the weekend. And then our dinner Saturday night, if you want to, we're going to take the bus over to the Miramar Outlets. They've got a bunch of good restaurants and shops there. Give you a chance for dinner there. There are a few places to eat near the hotel if you'd rather just hang out at the hotel too. And then finally, August 30th, we're going to go back and see those Southeast guide dogs. And we'll go to the Metro Diner for lunch on your own. They're going to do their presentation at Southeast Guide Dogs. It shows you how they train the dogs. I am told there should be some puppies greeting you in the lobby when we get there. I did get a lecture from the girl at Southeast Guide Dogs when I was booking this. So I'm going to pass that on to you guys. If this applies to you, then think about it. Try to help them out. If it doesn't apply to you, don't worry about it. So some of you were apparently kind of handsy with the service dog in the vest and patting him and loving on him, and you're not supposed to do that. That's against the rules. But there will be some puppies in the lobby to love on and play with. So that'll get the snuggling out of your system. And apparently some of you guys were a little chatty during the performance too. So if that applies to you, take some notes. Was that you, Carl? I would not have guessed. I would not have guessed, Carl. Was that you hugging? Was that you hugging the dog too? Yeah. Probably tried to steal the dog. Anyway, if you haven't been to Metro Diner, one of my favorite restaurants, the food is really great there. My recommendation is the chicken and waffles. Can't be beat. Their chicken, they marinate it for 48 hours before they fry it up. So it's nice and juicy and tender and really good. And they serve the waffles with strawberry butter they make right there. Oh, it's fantastic. I will warn you, they have a weird thing they do with the syrup when you get this. The girl's going to come to your table and want to put hot sauce in your syrup. So, I mean, if that's cool with you, go ahead and go for it. I'm kind of a baby. I don't put hot sauce on anything. So that kind of freaked me out when they tried to put hot sauce in my syrup. Just so that. But they'll serve it either way you want. So some more whoops for the end of August. Anybody seen the movie 48 Hours? Can anybody tell Nick Nolte from Eddie Murphy? Because apparently whoever did the artwork for that poster doesn't know who's who. Okay, there's a target you can never get in. That's a conundrum. Okay, I'm not sure which school district this target's in. But if you notice, it says back to school and it's a display of knives. That's probably, yeah, I was going to say probably Lakewood because Ed and I went to Lakewood. And a good knife was kind of a necessity. And I like the guy on the left.
I did mine.
The guy on the left is just like, eh. Okay, we're going to wrap things up. We've got fall foliage coming up in Vermont. That's leaving May 23rd. It is going to be September 23rd. What did I say? May? September 23rd. That's fall foliage in Vermont. It's 11 days long, if I recall correctly. We got 4 nights of that tour. We'll be in Vermont seeing fall color. We're going to go to the Ben & Jerry's factory. There's one slight change. Originally, we were doing a factory tour. It's not a factory tour. We're going to get a tasting, and we're going to get to visit the graveyard of discarded Ben & Jerry's flavors and have a history of Ben & Jerry's presentation. I don't think we're going in the actual factory unless they change their minds about COVID by September. We're going to have a maple farm tour. We're going to have a great dinner cruise on Lake Champlain. The Shelburne Museum is amazing. You should look it up. The Burlington Church Street Marketplace, that's really cool too. We're going to go to the Cold Hollow Cider Mill. And the Rock of Ages, it's a mine. It's an amazing structure. Getting to see the rock formations from millions of years ago. To quarry, that's the word I was struggling for. Thank you. We're going to go to this one I can talk about without struggling. We're going to go to Ticonderoga, New York, and do a little sightseeing there. But one of the things we're going to see is a unique attraction. It's called the Star Trek Original Series Set Tour, and it is a recreation of Stage 9 at Desilu Studios in the mid-1960s when they were filming the original Star Trek. So every set, every control panel, every button is in place, and it's actually built better than the original sets because this is made to look like you're actually on the spaceship. And it's run by a guy named James Cawley, who is actually an Elvis impersonator for his day job. But it's actually licensed by Paramount. It's beautiful. They're also going to have part of the bridge for Star Trek The Next Generation, if you remember that show. And it's a rumor, nobody knows this except you guys and me. He is supposed to be receiving the shuttlecraft from the original series because Johnson Space Center had it and locked it up in a warehouse for the last few years. And so the owner of it, who put it on loan to Johnson Space Center, is taking it away from them, and he's sending it to James Cawley, where it will be on display and loved and cared for. We'll have some fall colors. I'm sure we'll see some colors somewhere along the way as we go up and down. But and that is a Diamond tour that is packaged for us by Diamond. So we will not have a March bus unless March bids on it. But we'll have our own tour guides. Myself and Wendy will be on there. And then October 16th, we're going to do a fall foliage trip back up to the Smokies. You're going to tour the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. You're going to go to Newfound Gap, which is also a stop on the Appalachian Trail. And it's a great place to see some wildlife. They tend to attract some bears there, some elk, deer, all kinds of critters. And it's a big, big open field. And you'll probably see the wildest critters there, Appalachian Trail hikers. Don't get too close. They probably don't smell good. I've been one of those. We're going to go to the Sugarland Visitor Center. A lot of interesting exhibits and history of the area. 2 nights in the Morrow, Georgia, Drury Inn. That's our favorite Drury Inn because one of the ladies who works there, her name is Tequila, and she's always waiting for Travel is Fun. She loves our guys, and she always gives us a great welcome. You're going to get a day at Dollywood and a whole lot more. So, time to go over what today's holidays are so you know what to celebrate. Today is Donate a Day's Wages to Charity, and my favorite charity is called Todd Kennedy. If you wanted to donate a day's wages, I wouldn't say no. No, that's okay. It's Eat What You Want Day. Since we're at a buffet, that's really appropriate. It's also Hostess Cupcake Day. I don't know about you. My favorite ones are the orange ones. Those are really good. National Night Shift Workers Day. Was anybody a night shift worker? You were, Terry? And Buffy? That's rough. Look, aren't you guys glad you weren't night shift workers? Look what it did to the two of them. National Receptionist Day. Any receptionists? No receptionists? My favorite, National Root Canal Day. Why in God's name is that a holiday? Any school nurses? No school nurses. Third Shift Workers Day, that's the same thing. It's National Twilight Zone Day. Is anybody in here, what's his name? Rod Serling? No? Rod Serling's not here? Okay. So that's what day is it? Rumor Mill. Here's the things you guys have been asking for. Yeah, we're hoping to do a Savannah coming up, probably in the fall. Fort Myers Christmas, as always, is coming up. And New Year's will be coming up. That'll be in Fort Myers. And we're working on something for Nashville, too. So those are some of the hints coming. Possibly.
St. Augustine?
Yeah, St. Augustine is coming, too. Although I'm having an issue with the first weekend of December when the parade is. I'm still working on a hotel because the hotel we stayed in last year doesn't have availability that weekend. So I've got to find another hotel. So before we reveal the answer to where in the world, does anybody have any questions? Anybody at home? Oh, I can't hear you. Any questions? Going once, going twice. I was that informative. Ollie is up here. She's got answers.
Well, we'll see.
There's our winner. He's got the best answer.
I know.
Okay, 4 of you had kind of a right-ish answer, but 1 of you had the best right answer. So here's your. Oh, by the way, next month meeting, June 8th, right back here, 1:30. And please remember to tip your servers. They worked hard for you today. And Jay's not here. So here's your answer to where in the world. It is the Georgia Capitol in Atlanta. And she is the statue. She's called the Goddess of Liberty. And she's been there since the late 1800s. She actually has a 5-inch pipe in her arm. She's 26 feet tall from the tips of her toes to the top of that torch she's holding. And there's a pipe in her arm to bring the light bulb down through her body to change the light bulb. So otherwise, I don't know how you would ever change that light bulb. So our winner today for Where in the World is our own Mr. Terry Stitt. Good job, Terry. Good job, Terry. And we're going to give away some other stuff, too. We have a couple of donations from our good friend, Buffy. So let's see. First, let's give away a Ghirardelli Intense Dark Sea Salt Soiree. Let me see. Who could this go to? Oh, it goes to Todd Kennedy. Well, how about Buffy? Buffy Doucette.
Redonated.
Redonated. Okay, we're going to call another name. So I find somebody. Marina, how about Ed Casper?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got a hell yeah back there.
Here you go, Ed.
Yo.
Sure, you go. Okay, what do we have next? We've got thick mints. Ooh, those are thick. Look at those. Have you guys seen? Okay, you know Oreos. You got regular Oreos. Then you got your double stuff Oreos, and then there's mega double stuff Oreos that's like this thick. There is actually a 4-pack of triple double mega stuff Oreos where they're like this thick with the gooey white stuff. Anyway, thick mints. You can see on the package they're kind of thick. There's a lot in there. A lot of mint. Who's going to win? This goes to Tom Persley.
Yay, Tom.
Oh, big Tom. There you go, buddy. Okay, one more goodie, courtesy of Buffy Doucette. This is chocolate truffle hearts. Oh, and this means you're going to be Buffy's Valentine.
Valentine's Day, right away.
Okay, this goes to Sharon Davis, right here. Good, I don't have to run so fast. I will be around if you have any questions for me, and Ollie will be in the back if you want to book anything or pay for a trip or check out a departure time. Thank you guys so much for coming, and we'll see you next month on June 8th. You guys at home, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Thank you.